Welcome back, everyone. Of course I make a video about why business owners don't trust accountants. There's something going on here. They all want to use AI and not us anymore. Well, let me help you out with that, okay? Make sure you like and subscribe. Check us out at Universal Accounting Center. It's the best school in the world if you want to up your game in the finance industry. Look, hey, most accountants think business owners buy based on what? Technical skill. Look at your marketing. Look how horrible it looks. It's all about the skill and the service that you offer. They already know because of your title, right? Listen, they're not buying based on skill, technical skill, okay? Business owners buy based on certainty. The certainty of using you and the value that you can provide and the outcome of using your services. So they're actually buying based on trust, based on emotional safety, based on confidence. They buy based on whether or not they believe in you, okay? They believe in you, and they believe that you understand their world. So look, most accountants, when I'm listening to their sales calls, I'm even evaluating my sales team, right? What I'm hearing is most people sound like processors, okay? Not leaders, not advisors, and not strategic thinkers. That's why one accountant charges $150 a month and the other charges $5,000 retainers to do the same type of client. So in this video, I'm going to break down why business owners naturally distrust accountants, the psychology mistakes most accountants make, how advisors instantly create authority, and how to position yourself as a trusted business weapon instead of just another tax person. Look, if you understand this, you're going to stop chasing clients, and clients are going to start chasing you, right? And that's what we want. That's exactly what we want. Give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and shut this over here. Beautiful. All right, listen up here. We've got Module 1. You need to write this down. It's so important that you write everything I teach you. You need to write it down. Look, the title of this module is The Real Reason Business Owners Don't Trust Accountants. This is deeper than most people think. Business owners don't distrust accountants because of accounting. They distrust accountants because they've been failed what? They've been failed emotionally. Okay? Most business owners have experienced accountants who have disappeared on them, accountants who confuse them, accountants who only talk during tax season, accountants who react instead of lead, which we never want to see, accountants who never help them grow, accountants who have made them feel dumb over time, and the ones who use technical jargon. So now every new accountant gets put through a subconscious threat assessment. The business owner is asking, are you another expense, or are you someone who can actually help me win? That's the real sale. It's not bookkeeping, it's not taxes, it's not the darn reports, it's the trust. All right, let's move to Module 2. Remember, my stuff is just as good as something you pay for in terms of sales courses. This is all sales content. All right, so the next thing. Why most accountants lose trust immediately. Module 2. Most accountants accidentally communicate weakness, we'll call it. Yeah, I would say that. Not because they are weak, but because of how they communicate. Timid. I would say that's a better word. Timid. Here's what timid communication sounds like, okay? And you're probably saying, what do you mean timid? Well, let me show you. Hey, we also offer payroll services. I think maybe we can help with that. Let me know if you're interested. We just do the bookkeeping over here. I'm just trying to grow my business. All of that language destroys authority. Business owners, you have to think from their lens. Like put their little entrepreneur sunglasses on that they've got over there, running their candle companies, whatever industry you're working and doing the accounting for. Look, they're stressed, okay? They're overwhelmed. They're emotionally exhausted. They're not looking for uncertainty. Remember, your title gives everything away. So listing it and telling them is so stupid. So sell the value in terms of stories on, hey, look, in 6 months from now, I'm going to do this, this, and this. This is going to be fixed. This is going to be the outcome of that. Talk to me about what having an additional 10 grand in your bank's going to feel like. Boom. That's what the kind of stuff you need to do. And so look, what they're looking for in these sales conversation is leadership, confidence, clarity, direction, someone who understands them. So the things that you want to cover and say, look, here's the real issue. This is costing you money right now. Here's what I'd recommend. All right, Janet? Your numbers are telling the story here. Here's what I'd recommend. This is the next move if I were you. Okay, so there's a difference there where one sounds like a vendor and the other sounds like a strategist. It's all about consultative selling. You have to be doing consultative selling when you're selling your accounting services. It just is what it is. Let's go to the next module, okay? Business owners, they don't want an accountant. What they're looking for, by the way, this is module 3. In the last video, I got so excited. I forgot what darn module I was on. But look, the business owners, they don't want an accountant. Okay, this is where people's minds explode. They're like, Nate, what do you mean? All right, this is what I mean. Okay, look, business owners do not wake up wanting bookkeeping, reconciliations, financial reports, tax prep. What they want is peace, control, confidence, profitability, growth, clarity, freedom. Boom, and accounting is just a vehicle. All right, the emotional outcome is the real product. This is why elite firms sell transformation, not transactions. You're selling transactions. That's why your income sucks, right? You say things like, I reconcile your books. Well, an elite advisor would say, I can help you understand exactly where your money is leaking so you can grow profitability. Well, those are two different things, completely different emotional experiences, where one is like data entry speech and the other is leadership. When I say leadership, that's what I'm talking about. All right, let's go to section 4. Look, module 4, How elite accountants build trust fast. How elite accountants build trust fast. How do you do it? Right? How do you do it? Let me show you. Let me tell you. And it's the same concept no matter what you're doing, right? Look, the people in the accountants that are bringing in the big bank, the big bucks, that's why you're watching the video, so you can get there, right? It's all about sales and communication. But they understand something that most people never learn is that people trust people who make them feel understood. All right? Make sure you're writing all of this down. If you're not writing it down, shame on you. So instead of trying to impress clients, diagnose the client. One thing, too, that to help with your nerves, especially in your sales deals, you don't need to impress anybody. You need to really make them feel heard and understood and then provide value. It's all about value. So just flip from trying to sound smart, cool, impressive, and then just switch it to, hey, I'm just going to try to add as much value as possible. And that will take all that nervousness away. So look, this is what you need to say, and you need to write all of these down. What's frustrating you most financially right now? Where do you feel blind in the business? What's stressing you out? What's the real goal over the next 12 months, Janet? Talk to me about that. Why are you hiring me as your accountant today? What's the real goal over the next 12 months? What's holding the business back from growing? Well, this changes the conversation psychologically. Now the client feels heard, understood, emotionally safe, and that emotional safety creates trust. Most accountants talk too much. Elite advisors investigate. Okay, let's move to module 5. Why the technical skill is not enough. This is big time, right? Your brain is so good with numbers, it's analytical and all those wonderful things, but you're watching these videos to increase your communication side of your brain, right? So you have to understand, while you know everything and you've got these certifications and degrees and your technical brilliance, stop info dumping that on them. I don't know how else to say it. They already know you have these things, okay? Because communication creates perceived value, not knowledge alone. Look, you can be the smartest accountant in the city, but if you communicate like an employee instead of an advisor, what happens is the client subconsciously lowers your value. This is why some accountants charge $150 a month. Then you got other people, I'm talking with them, charging $2,000 to $5,000 a month, advisory retainers, consulting engagements. Well, if you want to do those things, by the way, buy our profit and growth program. We'll teach you how to do that. And of course you can charge someone $2,000 to $5,000 a month if you're making them an extra 10 to 20, 30K in profit. It's just common sense. The difference is not usually the technical skill, actually. It's the positioning. It's the confidence that they come into the call with. It's that communication. There's the leadership again, right? Psychology. So all of those things are so important. So stop conveying the darn services and start looking at it from this perspective that I'm teaching you. Now, it might be a lot at once, but hey, practice it. Start thinking differently if you want to make more money. It's not about selling isn't telling. Selling is intelligent. It's not. All right, let's go to Module 6. The biggest mistake accountants make. The biggest mistake accountants make. Write this down. Most accountants try to prove intelligence. Most accountants try to prove intelligence. Look, elite advisors try to create uncertainty. They try to create certainty, where most accountants try to prove intelligence, where that's a huge difference. Again, over-explaining overwhelms people. Okay, if I'm over-explaining, that's so much on a person, right? It creates confusion and it lowers trust. So the clarity, the dumber I can talk about the jargon, the better, right? That clarity creates confidence. Confidence creates authority. Authority creates sales. So it's a twofold thing. That's why elite communication is simple. Not because they're dumb, but because they understand human psychology. Confused people do not buy. Certain people do. So the more certain the deal, the better. The more certain I can make my deal, the better. Let's go to Module 7. How to position yourself as a trusted advisor. So you're calling yourself the wrong title. You're a trusted advisor, right? Look, if you want business owners to really embrace you and believe in you, you have to stop acting like the accounting person. Start acting like a growth partner, strategic advisor, a business consultant, a profitability expert, a financial leader. Talk about profit, cash flow, decision-making, growth, efficiency, systems, business strategy. Because owners, they're not looking for numbers, they're looking for direction. The accountant of the future is not just a technician. The accountant of the future is an advisor. Okay, an advisor. And the people who understand that, you guys are going to kick butt in this industry over the next decade for sure. It's a new age, and you are at the brink of it. So look, if you got value from this video, understand something, that sales is not manipulation. Sales is communication. And the accountants who learn communication, psychology, authority, trust, positioning will build the biggest firms. Look, all I do all day is learn, teach, apply. My reps apply all the time. You have to do these things, okay? The more you learn, the more you earn. Because, look, you have to become impossible to ignore. So if you're an accountant, bookkeeper, tax professional, advisor trying to grow, subscribe, okay? This channel is about becoming an elite firm owner. So we'll see you in the next one. Check out Universal Accounting Center.